Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I thought I would talk to you about things that you can declutter in your house that take away that visual clutter overload. Because I think sometimes when we walk into our homes, we walk into visual clutter, and because they're things that are so normal to see, we don't really think about them as being clutter. So I've got a little list here of 10 things that you can put away or declutter permanently if you want, is going to really reduce your visual clutter in your home and actually make you feel so much more stress-free and lighter when you are in your home. So let's get started with number one. So hangers. This one I realise isn't something that is always visual, but certainly for me, one of the places that I go into multiple times a day is my wardrobe. So whether that's to get dressed in the morning, in the evening, putting clothes away after they've been washed and dried, I am using hangers everywhere, like my son's wardrobe, my husband's wardrobe, my wardrobe, and I'm going into those wardrobes all the time. And hangers, spare hangers that I do not use and don't want to fill up anymore, need to just go. I've reduced my wardrobe down quite a bit now, and I had a lot of spare hangers that I would have usually kept, but I've got rid of them because they are just visual clutter in my wardrobe and I don't intend to be putting more clothes back on them, so they're gone. Number two, extra cords and chargers. I was really surprised at how many cords and excess chargers I have saved up over the years. I mean, they're all over the house. They're in drawers in our bedroom, they're in drawers in the kitchen, they're in drawers in the dining room. Cords and leads everywhere, and half of them I couldn't even tell you what they were for now. So they have been thoroughly decluttered and gotten rid of, and if I come across a lead and I don't know what it's for, then it goes. I've also swapped out, apart from my charger for my iPhone and my iPad, I've actually swapped out all of the other chargers for one multi-way charger, which literally does everything. It even does my iPhone and my iPad, plus my Kindle. So I actually only need the one, but I do like to have my iPhone charger as well. So I now only have 2 leads and that does everything I need. Number 3 is open shelving overload. I used to have lots of items out on shelving around the house, and I have really reduced that down to a minimum now. So as you can see, even just behind me, I used to have a candle and matches and plus the bits that you see. So now I literally have a plant and I have a lamp, and that is all I need. I've also done that with a lot of other shelves and sort of fireplace surrounds in the house, and it's really surprising how much less stressful the house feels without so much stuff visible. Number 4. Another big one is magnets and notes pinned to the front of the fridge. Now, we don't have an enclosed fridge, ours is out in the open, and we used to have, or we do still have, magnets. We like to buy a magnet when we go away somewhere. It is like our little memento from wherever we've been, and so it became a bit of a collection. What I have personally done is taken them all off of the front of the fridge so that when you initially walk into our kitchen, you can't see this just craziness of magnets on the front of the fridge. I've actually put them on the side so that when you're in the kitchen pottering about, I can see those memories, but they are not right there in front of you when you walk in, it's just a plain fridge, and unless you're looking for them, the magnets are completely out of sight for visitors and for anyone, unless you are working in the fridge, in the kitchen. And it's made such a difference to our kitchen. It looks so much better. Number 5, excess throws and pillows. I am definitely someone that likes to have some softer furnishings in the house, especially on our sofas, and I do have pillows, and I usually have some sort of blanket throw, especially in the evenings in the autumn and winter. It can get a little bit chilly in the evenings, especially if you're just sat maybe watching TV or something. So I keep to just 2 throw pillows in our living room and 1 blanket, and the rest are stored away upstairs. If my son wants a blanket, he can go and get his blanket, and then it will go back upstairs with him when he goes up to bed. So I do keep it to very minimal throw pillows and blankets. You don't have to get rid of everything, but just minimise. I used to have, on this very small 2-seater sofa, I used to have 4 pillows, 2 on each side, and then another 2 on our chair, and it was a lot. It was a lot of visual clutter that actually we really didn't need, and they were more of a pain than anything. So yeah, reduce those right down, and it just looks so much nicer with less. Number 6 is too many wall decorations. So I'm a big fan of having large pieces of wall art, and in here we do have a couple of pieces on our larger walls, but they are just one large picture, and they're quite neutral, so they don't overload the room. We used to have a gallery wall in our dining room, and I actually have just taken that completely away because it just felt so overwhelming in there, and it just didn't really suit the room. Perhaps if it was decorated differently, it may have looked different, but I think for me it just felt too much, and so I've been slowly taking things away, and actually I think we found that it's just so much nicer with less on the walls. Number 7. This one is, I'm going to be bringing these items up in a video in a week or so's time, when I do my October declutter video. But this one is one that it's completely insane, but it's shopping bags. So we all know that several years ago, or it's more than several years ago now, shops stopped really doing disposable bags. I mean, you can still get plastic disposable bags, but usually you have to buy them. So everyone started getting the cloth shopping bags and buying the bags for life and things like that. And honestly, over the years, I have got a treasure trove of them. So many. I've actually been decluttering them all this month because we actually get our weekly shop delivered, so I don't actually use the shopping bags very regularly anyway. And when I do need to go out and get bits during the week, like to top us up, like milk and bread, things like that, I have one shopper that I use, and it's one that actually I think I might share a little bit about it on another video. But my shopper is the perfect minimalist shopper that I keep in my bag, and it's there when I need to use it. I don't need lots of extra ones, so you are going to see a big declutter of shopping bags in my October declutter video. But yes, that is number 7, shopping bags. Unless you are shopping every week, just keep what you need. You don't need all of the excess ones. Number 8. Number 8 is bathroom counter products. So I think it's quite easy sometimes, especially in the mornings when you're rushing about, to leave your toothpaste and your toothbrushes out on the counter. It's just easier. But I've actually started putting ours away and reducing the amount of things we have around, like the bath, like shower gels and things like that. And making sure that we put them away so that when we're in the bathroom, it doesn't give us that visual overload of clutter. I think if you can, find a storage bin or a cupboard, or perhaps a little chest of drawers. We've got a tall chest of drawers in our bathroom, and we just keep everything in there nice and tidy, and it just feels so much nicer when you are in the bathroom to not have shower gels and soaps and toothpaste and toothbrushes all scattered around everywhere. Number 9. Knickknacks that don't have homes. So as somebody that has a child living in our house, we get an accumulation of little bits and pieces. Actually, for example, my son recently went to a party and this is currently on the floor because I haven't tidied the floor yet today. So a classic example of a little knickknack that just gets strewn about the place. Give them a home. If they don't have a home, do you need it? Get rid of it. Is kind of my mindset now. If I can't find a thing at home, then perhaps it doesn't belong here in my house. And finally, number 10, coats and jackets. For the longest time, as you come in through our porch, we have, on our second door, we have hooks. And for the longest time, we have had coats and jackets just hooked up, and half the time we're not using them all the time. It's just a place to store them. However, visually, it looks so unappealing that I recently went through all of our coats and jackets. We got rid of the ones we don't want, and the ones that we are keeping are now in our respective wardrobes for when we need them. Obviously, during the week, as it gets colder, my son will definitely have his winter coat for every day when he's going to school, and so that one we will leave up during the week on the door for ease in the morning to get and put on. And the same for any of us that are putting on winter jackets every day. As we come in, they'll be hung up and then we'll use them again in the morning. But if we're going to be not using them for a few days, perhaps over a weekend or something, we're not really going to need them, then they'll go back to our wardrobes for the weekend so that we don't have that visual clutter. And because we've decluttered them anyway and only kept what we need, there is less anyway, and so less visual clutter. If you can find a space hidden away to put your coats and jackets, then I would massively advise you to try it, because it feels so much better to not walk in and walk through the first door and just have an overload of coats and clutter. It makes such a change in your head, and just it's surprising how much of a difference it makes. So that's all 10. I hope that has been inspiring for you and you will have found something that's going to help you declutter and just reduce that visual noise that homes can often accumulate with daily life. Thanks for watching today, guys. If you got to the end and you enjoyed the video, then please consider liking and subscribing to the video and the channel, and I will see you on the next one. Bye for now.